Hello, Jimjamatic here. Welcome to episode 4 of The Robots That Never Were. This is a series, of course, that was originally suggested to me by Two Penny Milk and Anthony Murney from Antweight Anarchy. And today we're going to be talking about some robots that just didn't quite make it into the series, some for obvious reasons and some are more like, what could have been? Most of those won't be that in this episode, but it's all about part of the fun. Joining me today, I only have one guest with me today, but it's he's very popular in my show so far. It is TheDominusignis.
Hello again, everyone.
I love that I didn't have you on very much before. Now it's just like you've just been in almost every episode of Series 5 and this now. It's great.
It's amazing. You know, I was so excited to come on, and then you showed me the robots you picked, and now I actually want to get out of here.
Yeah, you've actually picked okay robots. I've just picked the weird ones.
Weird doesn't even begin to cut it. That last choice we're going to go to. Not gonna say it yet because that's what people need to listen all the way through to see. But wow.
Yes. We'll might as well get straight into the robots then, of course. We're alternating between the robots we picked. So we'll start with one that Sean picked first. Would you like to explain why you chose Rough Stuff as a robot?
It's because you needed me to pick one more robot. I looked at that and I thought, okay, that'll work.
Is that it?
Yes, this is Rough Stuff. Apparently it was meant to take part in the Lightweight Championship of Extreme 2, but the battle was cancelled, so never got seen, and they went on to make a front hinge featherweight called Tough Stuff, which I'm actually more interested in.
Yeah, the funny thing is obviously because there was no lightweight championship because of the Extreme 2, so does that technically mean they're the lightweight champion?
Hey, that's perfect.
They won by default.
I mean, the one thing I will say is there's nothing I can see that's inherently wrong with it, except where's the supposed circular saw the wiki's on about? Like, even the team's blog mentions it, but I'm trying to think, I don't see it. I don't know where that circular saw could have been.
I don't know where it is. I've been looking at there's only like 4 pictures of it on the wiki. Oh, actually only 2 of the original, and I can't even see any circular saw at all.
Oh my god, I think I know why that is. I think all of these pictures are from 2001, and it wasn't added till 2002, so there's no pictures of it with the saw.
Until now.
Until now, when the team suddenly comes about and gives you the picture, because this podcast seems to be great for getting very obscure pictures.
Yeah, because if Phil didn't remember, on the very first episode of this, we highlighted GoldenEye, and apparently there was this bar spinner for it, and there was no pictures in the wiki of the bar spinner until one of the team said, "Hey, we have pictures of it," and then it just appeared on the wiki all of a sudden. I'm just like, holy shit, I'm actually doing something. So you never know if you're still around or people have pictures of the robot with a saw. Please show us, because I have no idea where the saw's going to be.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, it doesn't look like a bad robot by any stretch. It looks like it, given it's a wedge, it probably would have been perfectly fine. But I have to say, the Rough Stuff robot, no, not Rough Stuff, Tough Stuff, my bad, the featherweight that they worked on afterwards just looks like a much more interesting robot, and I feel like it does look like that was a bit of an improvement on the original design, in my opinion.
Yeah, making the front hinge flipper makes it a lot more viable than just wedge.
Yeah. So, there's nothing really bad with Rough Stuff. It's just not the most interesting robot ever, and all we really know is that it was an invertible wedge. Solid, but that's all really. Yeah,
it kind of reminds me a bit of a Cunning Plan slightly.
Oh my god, Cunning Plan.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when you picked this robot, I never even heard of it. Like,
yeah,
I didn't know there was a cancelled lightweight event for Extreme 1, so... I assume it was Extreme 2, sorry, so...
My question is, what was the opponent that it was meant to face that pulled out?
I bet it was like Mammoth or something.
It's gonna I remember looking up pictures of Mammoth, and one of them just has the boy hand.
Oh, the boy hand's the greatest thing.
Oh.
Actually, speaking of boys, actually...
Please make that the thumbnail, just Mammoth going, boy!
That's a possibility.
Yes!
I mean, the team, I love the team name are called the Rough Boys. with Z.
Oh, you can just tell it was the noughties.
Oh god, yeah, everything was rough and extreme, and trying to get out. Yeah, trying to get out of that sick 90s, but then didn't really make it properly. So we ended up with
I wonder if the team ever did anything after Tough Stuff, or if that was it.
There doesn't seem so much presence from them besides some rough and tough stuff. So I think
that's a shame. It would have been interesting to see what came from it afterwards. But I guess once Robot Wars died down, they just kind of were like, "Well, that's that for us."
it did fight at some events, at some of Rex Garrett's Robots Challenge fights. So it did make a few appearances there, but that's more like the front hinge flipper version.
Yeah, well, there's nothing, I can't say words today. It's an alright robot, but I think we've said all we need to say about it, really. So why don't we move on to your next thing? And I've been just staring at it, and oh my god.
Yes, this is Xenomorph. Not to be confused with the Series 7 robot, which looks a bit like the Master. I can actually describe that thing. I don't know what to describe Xenomorph as. It's
an axe robot.
An axe flipper thing, it seems to look like. That's the weird thing about it. I can't tell.
Oh my god! I just realised the armour is clay and plaster to make that shell.
Yeah.
This is... I've never... oh my god. Oh Jesus, I shouldn't have clicked on it, because then you realise how pixelated the image is, but... Wow. I don't know what to say. The idea was to make it look like a xenomorph, but it looks like a roadkill xenomorph.
Yeah, this thing failed to qualify in both Series 3 and Series 4. Oh, the second xenomorph was actually more of like a box with an axe on it. Very kind of boring looking, for the most part.
It's weird, because then they went on to make Chip, which at least looked like a fairly decent spinner. Didn't do very well, 1 win, 2 losses, but... Chip looks like a lot more of a standard spinner, whereas this... I don't know, it's just a mess, really.
It's really weird, because in Series 3 they just weren't selected, so they actually were reserves, almost.
Oh,
they failed to because it says distinctly in Series 3 they were not selected, but Series 4 failed to qualify. So in the case they didn't qualify, maybe they just were close to it, but then obviously they had to bring in quality things like Hammertron and Max Damage, and those things were way more important than Xenomorph, obviously.
Oh yeah, I've just seen Xenomorph 2. That's it's lost the Xenomorph quality, but I can actually tell what's going on, and that actually looks more like a robot. That looks like something which I would more like to see on my TV. I'm glad they went with that.
Yeah. Also, I have to quote Mike on one of our chats, the Roasting Robots chat we have, where he described... When I showed him a picture of Xenomorph, he described it as like Tundra that's been sicked up. And this sad thing is I can actually agree, because it's just... It looks like... it's funny, because from the picture, it just looks like the size of a car. It just looks massive, this thing. And I can't imagine how hard it must have been to drive.
Now, the other thing I want to point out is they did go on to buy Pitbull on eBay, which... It's weird, Xenomorphs 2 looks alright, and Chip and Pitbull look alright, so literally only Xenomorph 1 is the big blemish on their record.
And technically they did win their qualifier in Series 4, they just didn't qualify for some reason.
That is weird, admittedly.
Yeah, a lot of robots failed to qualify even though they win their qualifier, usually because it was too boring, or maybe it just didn't work as properly, even though, because sometimes the opponent might just break down and they win anyway, but it's not good enough.
Yeah.
That happens with a few robots. I think it happened with Dan Tomkier, the Series 4 one, where it was just a wedge and no flipper. But
to be fair to them, even though I hate the visual aspect, I can only assume the robot probably wasn't that bad, to be honest. Because if it, like you said, won its qualifier or something, then surely that's something.
It is something. There's a really funny picture of it, and it's so tiny on the wiki, it's barely visible, but you can see it attacking like a washing machine or something. The scale. That
can't be a washing machine. I refuse. Otherwise, that thing is like the size of Goliath.
Well, I don't know what it is because it's such a tiny picture on the wiki, but there are worse pictures on the wiki, but
Yeah, but that looks like a postage stamp.
That is probably a postage stamp.
Yeah, so to be positive to Xenomorph, it was probably a fairly decent robot for Series 3, just a visual eyesore.
A little bit, yeah. At least Huntron had like some artistic merit, I guess, to a degree. But I mean, if you're looking even looking like the basic construction when it was about to be built, it doesn't look like it has any like design. It's just.
Plus, I'm worried about the clay and plaster mold. I'm hoping that's not all the armor was.
I think it probably was.
Oh, nylon polymer body shell, which was initially sculpted using clay and plaster.
Nylon.
Oh, Christ.
Well, I can see why they didn't get in then.
I'm not surprised they removed it next time. Because I imagine even they were like, yeah, this probably won't do well against things like Hypnodisc and Chaos 2.
And in fairness, you would love to see it against Hypnodisc, though. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
I mean, if someone said, oh, we're going to bring back Xenomorph and have it face Tombstone, I'd be like, yes!
It's really weird because we ended up getting the Predator in Series 4.
Yeah, so I can't even judge Xenomorph that badly because there were a lot of weird robots back in the day.
I mean, just look at Banshee. Fucking hell.
Oh no. That clown one from the American one.
Oh, Conquering Clown.
Oh god, that thing was terrifying.
It's terrifying, but it still won matches somehow. I'm not sure what it did, but Xenomorph.
It's like the Antichrist of Robot Wars.
Oh,
people in shunt posting worship Eric or now Agrabot, Vive la Agrelution, but oh my god, like Conquering Clown is just the Antichrist.
God, and Xenomorph is like the devil.
Where it's oh my god, no, it's like the Lovecraftian horror where its form is we can't fully comprehend its form. It might be the size of a washing machine, it might be bigger, it might be smaller. We don't know because we can't comprehend it. We're going mad just looking at it.
Yeah. Let's move on to a more sane robot, because I guess it's like a kind of like whiplash between sane robots and stupid robots in the way we've picked things.
Yeah.
Well, we'll go for your second pick then.
Things you've picked, James, I swear to God.
We'll go for your second pick then. A robot that failed to qualify for Series 4 and withdrew from the qualifiers in Series 3. It is Venom, or as it's spelt, it is Venom.
Yeah, that's a weird one, but yeah, Venom. Basically, I looked at it and I was reading about like, oh, it whipped everybody in its little college challenge that went up against it. Started off, couldn't get the flipper in time, so it had some spikes, but then you see like in its picture, it actually was fighting Dominator 2 fairly well with the flipper, and I just thought to myself, well, shit, if it's able to take on Dominator 2 in a friendly fight, I imagine it probably would have been a semi-decent flipper back in the day.
Yeah, it reminds me of... I'm trying to remember which robot it reminds of. That's it. It reminds me of the Series 7 version of Alien.
Oh,
no, Alien, UFO, sorry. I got that mixed up.
That's it. I was thinking, oh.
I know, I always get UFO and Alien mixed up because it's basically the same name.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, the Series 7 one was actually won a fight, unlike the Series 6 one, which just kind of did nothing. But, they actually qualified for Series 3, but we have to withdraw, which is a bit of a shame, because they didn't have a flipper in Series 3, it was just a wedge back in Series 3. Which, I don't know. It needed the flipper. It needed the flipper, let's face it.
Yeah, the thing is, when it has the flipper, it actually looks like it was I've seen one problem, but I'll get to that in a second. Otherwise, it looks like an actually fairly solid flipper, really. Like, fairly solidly designed with a pretty well done, frame. Able to flip over opponents quite nicely, even if it doesn't look like the most powerful thing. The only thing that I've just noticed that would have been a huge problem is it turns out it pretty much has no armor underneath. Probably like the thinnest armor, if anything at all. I
mean, the robots is defeated on any little friendly matches. It defeated Rambot, which is something. Which is considering that robot was quite fast.
Yeah.
And also Mr. Punch. Okay, not the... Okay, and also it didn't have a flipper. So, it was just static spikes with its weapon in Series 3, apparently. But I like the design of it. It's just, I guess the reliability must have been its problem.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem, because it got rammed by the morgue and just died in its qualifier, which is a shame, really, because, again, this robot just looks like it would have been quite nice, but I don't know. It's a shame, really.
Oh, well, it had two really glaring weaknesses, though. Actually, three. One, its reliability, which in turn came from the fact it had plywood armor, not metal. And it didn't have a base plate, and there's a picture of Dominator 2 just whacking through the center of it.
Yeah.
Like twice.
Now, apparently, back in 1999, it fought against like 4 other machines built at the same university, in South Bank University, and from what I can tell, it basically just won easily over all the opponents. Like, out of all the robots there, it was probably easily the best made one.
It must have been a slow year then.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I was a bit mean, but Venom.
I quite like Venom, to be fair. So I'll fight you to the death for its honor.
if you're gonna enjoy the robot, at least call it right. Pronounce it right. Venom.
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 I'm gonna. If the team ever sees this, can we know why it's spelled that way?
Yeah, I don't know why the M is capitalised for. It seems like no reason. I mean, it could be a significant reason. I don't see one, but.
No, but oh well.
Oh well, it's unique, I guess. I mean, the sad thing is, it's the robot it lost to in the Series 4 qualifiers.
Wait. Oh yeah, the Morgue, right?
The Morgue, the one. Of course, the Morgue bullshitted its way through the qualifiers because it did it in the main series. Oh no, I mean I love the team and stuff, but fucking hell, Jesus, the Morgue in Series 4, you guys were so lucky, mate.
Oh,
but. Yeah, Venom is actually a decent robot.
And had they sorted out the reliability and made the bottom armor not shit, it probably would have at least been a notable flipper, really.
You mean actually having bottom armor?
Yes.
I mean something would be better than nothing.
Come on, guys. What was that about?
No idea. Then we get to probably the most sane robot on my list, which is saying a lot. This is a robot that also failed to qualify for Series 3, but actually technically appeared in Series 2, but of course we always never saw it because they failed to show pretty much most of the battles from any of the weight categories. It was RC Bandit.
I think I've finally realised what it does. If I can guess, I think it's like that. If you've ever played the unofficial Robot Wars mod for Robot Arena 2, it looks like Gripper basically in the way it works.
Yeah, it's got like a pneumatic spike.
I was so confused about that.
and it's on an arm. Actually, it's kind of similar to Agrobot's weapon slightly, where it's like a spike on an arm, except this one can move like left and right and stuff. But it's very odd, and funny because they chose tracks for it, which they said was an advantage. But honestly, from what I've seen, tracks never seem to do that well.
Okay, so I'm on multiple minds about this. Firstly, the tracks look like they'd fall off if you breathe near them, but on the other hand, it does look like they tried to stuff everything into a tight space. So it doesn't look like they. It looked like they had a fair idea of what they were doing, really, but. I don't know how well this would have done. I've never seen a robot like that apart from Gripper, and Gripper didn't do very well from what I saw.
Yeah, it's a very odd-looking robot, a hydraulic punch on it. And this team, as I mentioned before, they actually entered a robot called Botweiler in the super heavyweight category, and it's funny because Botweiler looks very similar to like a beefed-up version of Leviathan, pretty much, but except just
Botweiler actually looks like a very sensible design there, the 6 wheels, a scoop at the front. I can't remember if it did any good, but oh well.
It didn't do well because I think it just broke down with Sockham, and then the only reason Demon Duck won because it was the last one that was still alive.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the robot they entered in Series 3 for Botweiler was very different. It looked very similar to Lateral Thought, like it's like 6-wheel drive with a low wedge, but it has like a saw at the back. Or the front. I'm not sure which way was the front, but they didn't qualify with that either. So they had 2 robots and neither one qualified, and they lost to Demon Duck in Series 2. So they have a very good track record in robot.
No, I will give them this. RC Bandits, like for Series 3, that's pretty ambitious, actually.
Yeah, Series 2 and 3 had some very ambitious robots. Like, we covered Bone previously, the Adam Clark robot
Oh
with the
yeah.
giant axes, and that thing was really weird looking. And then you have robots like Jim Struts, and then you have RC Bandit. I'm getting RC Warrior mixed up now. RC Bandit, and it's just weird because I mean, it's a shame this thing never actually made it in. Because I mean, I would have liked to have seen it over robots like what's a really boring like Crippler. You know, I'll take Crippler over this. I mean, I just see those tracks coming off like Crusher. They don't.
I kind of want to see what this would have done to Series 3 armor, because I imagine that would have actually done a little bit of damage, especially given that you wouldn't have the problem of, you know, nothing to hold on, because obviously there'd be the floor and the wedge, you know, on one end and the spike on the other. It could have done something.
Yeah, it looks like it could have been okay, but I'm not sure.
It wouldn't have won the series. I can say that safely. But it is just one of those things where I guess it's like double jeopardy for me, where it's like it's not going to win a series, but I would have liked to have seen what it could have done.
Yeah, actually, coincidentally, if you took off like the massive like spike weapon and the wedge and the tracks, it looks very similar to more Pandemonium.
Oh my god!
And it even has the similar kind of weapon with the moving up, the up and down spike that can like also actuate. It's almost the same robot. Neither one, although unlike them, they didn't actually destroy loads of side events and hurt someone. So it's fine.
It's okay, RC Bandit. We're not going to we're not blaming you for that.
No,
pat.
It's a shame because they never actually entered another series after this. I never attempted to.
It's a shame, really, because even if these designs wouldn't have worked, it seems like they at least had some interesting designs with this and Botweiler.
I'd say out of all the robots I picked, this is the most sensible looking one, and also probably the most interesting in terms of idea.
Yeah, so I'll give them that. So that's actually probably that is the most sensible one you've picked, to be honest.
Yes.
Well done, James. You picked something like a rational human.
Yay. And actually, your next choice is also relatively rational as well, because I actually like the design of this thing, even if it didn't get in. Was Cyclone.
Now, Cyclone, I've actually seen videos of this because it was used in the live circuit for a while. It's done by Team Roaming Robots, who have Ripper, Cyclone 360, Gripper,
T-Bone.
They have ST Ripper. They have a lot of robots
and also another robot that we're covering next, actually.
Oh god, yeah. So, Team Roaming Robots have made a lot of robots, and Cyclone is one of those robots which doesn't look very flashy. It's not something that's going to wow you when you look at it, but when you look at it, it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, yeah, I can see why they made that, because it's one of those things where it's like 6-wheel drive, front hinge flipper. That thing is clearly made to do well at live events.
It's a very Storm 2 looking robot, which I mean that in a good way, because it looks very, very competitive. It's a shame it never got into Series 10. I've heard things. It's something about the Roaming Robots thing or something they weren't let in for. I don't know what it is.
But
I heard something, but then I can't confirm because I've heard literally it's all just rumor I've heard. But
yeah, but the robot itself though, like, it looks like fairly sturdy robot. The only time it got onto TV though was in Clashbots, where it was under the controls of Peter Redmond, fought alongside Sparta, driven by John Finley, to battle AU Thumper and Dark Wolf, which I've seen Dark Wolf. That was a very potent heavyweight spinner. Sorry, I want to just explain Dark Wolf. If it's the right... Wait, hold on. Let me make sure I'm talking about the right robot first, because I want to go on about this and find out I'm talking about the wrong robot. Yep, Dark Wolf. So, to explain Dark Wolf really quick... there was a robot called Boogalele, which I believe was like a lightweight robot by a Brazilian team, which was inspired by Electric Boogaloo, a heavyweight robot, and Dark Wolf was a heavyweight upscaling of Boogalele.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and it was really good. That was actually one of the few good things I liked about Clashbots. And apparently, it and AU Thumper fucked up Smasher, as Cyclone was called then, so badly it got retired.
That's unfortunate. I mean, because it would have been quite cool, because this thing only failed to qualify for Series 10. Because they also tried Dennis Ripper in Series 8 and 9, but again, on the wiki it says ineligible, so I don't really know what the situation is, but Series 10, it just didn't make it in, and it's almost like if Storm 2 took the advice of like the producers and said, make a proper weapon on it.
I mean, yeah. Oh man, Storm 2 are actually posting updates. I remember seeing from a response to a tweet, they may one day make Storm 3, but at the moment they want to try and bring Storm 2 back to its absolute full potential first.
I'm perfectly fine with that, because we never got to see it properly in Series 8, so...
Yeah. Now, before we move on though, one thing that I've been looking at, that I've been trying to figure out, is apparently this thing had an anti-spinner scoop, a drum, and an axe, and I'm trying to figure out how that would have worked.
I think maybe, because that top panel on the front maybe could be taken out.
Maybe, but I could see that maybe with the axe, but the drum is the one that I'm confused about.
It probably is similar to Tornado's one. It's like a kind of little tiny drum or something.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, actually.
Or maybe like Crackers and Smashes one.
I mean, yeah, so Cyclone, it's actually a robot that I quite like, just in general, because sometimes a robot doesn't need to be the flashiest robot, sometimes it just needs to be good, and I imagine this is a fairly solid robot on the live scene.
Yeah, and there's a big mystery about this robot, though.
Oh?
How tall is it?
Oh, yeah!
We don't know how tall it is.
We know the length and the width, but not the height.
Come on, Team Roaming Robots, update the wiki.
Please let us know, Team Roaming Robots, how tall was Cyclone before it got destroyed? Don't give us the height of when AU Thumper pounded it into paste.
Also, don't count the height of every single individual shard in a pile. That doesn't count. That doesn't count.
Oh man, I quite like Cyclone, but now we're going to move on to the pièce de résistance of Team Roaming Robots' library of robots.
Oh god, yes. The robot that failed to qualify for Series 4, and maybe for good reason. Banana Armour. Oh, sorry, it's Banana Armour. The pun doesn't really work. Banana Armour.
I really don't... Banana Armour.
It doesn't work.
The robot's name was a pun on the pop group Banana Armour. Oh my god, is that how you meant to say it? Banana Armour?
Yeah, if they just got rid of the last A in banana, it would have worked.
Oh my god.
But it's Banana Armour, and it just sounds weird. But this thing is a drum. It literally is like some plastic drum or something, or metal drum, with like a wedge on. It's a spinning disc at the back and like a wedge on the front. I don't know where the front or the back on this robot is. I really don't know. I know the cutting disc is at the back and the wedge is at the front, but I thought it was a flipper for ages, but it has this tiny little disc at the back, which...
I love the banana on it.
Oh, the banana's got a little face on it as well.
This is really silly, but I don't know. I hope beyond all hope that it turns out Team Roaming Robots still have this in like their garage somewhere.
I hope so. I mean, if robots like Weldor still exist, I think this thing can still exist.
Oh my god! For anyone, I just want to raise awareness to this. If anyone ever wants to see like old robots that still exist, then the King B team a while back actually hosted a Robo Nerd meeting. I believe that's what it was called, where a bunch of old robots got together. 13 Black, Limpet, Something, Tornado, and a bunch of like current robots as well. And I was like, oh man, I should go there next year because that looked really cool. Team Roaming Robots, bring Banana Armour,
please. I love this thing. It's funny because like all the components went into T-Bone later, and T-Bone did really well, as we know.
Oh, hold on, let me have a look because I'd forgotten T-Bone. Oh, that's T-Bone. Oh, yeah.
The giant T, in case you didn't realise.
It's weird. Like, it's clearly one of their least effective-looking robots that I've ever seen, but at the same time, it's got that weird old-school robot charm to it.
Yeah, it really does. Like, I could have seen this thing in Series 4. That's the weird thing. Because of how dumb it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't remember why it failed to qualify. I think it was just that, like, it was just unreliable. I think. Yeah, it lost mobility a lot apparently.
Hmm.
It didn't say who it was against though, so it must be just some people who didn't make it in, or probably wasn't worth noting.
Yeah, probably a robot that broke down straight away.
Yeah, doesn't surprise me though too much, considering the thing is literally just a barrel. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine this thing taking a lot of damage. I mean, it would probably just like bumped into like one robot and died like Shadow of Napalm did. So
Yeah. But
so dumb.
I think maybe now we should move on to the next robot, though.
Yes, the a robot that you would have seen actually in King of Bots under the name Blue. It is Mega Melvin.
I always love hammer robots. You know, good hammer and axe robots generally are just a lot of fun to watch. They don't win many tournaments, but you know, when you get to see them in action, it's great. And Mega Melvin, on top of having mechanism wheels so it can drift around and proving itself to be one of the few robots that can actually use those effectively, if you watch King of Bots, it was actually very good at keeping its front to the opponents. But that hammer comes down with such force. Like in Robo Games, the drive broke down in Robo Games 2017, but they kept swinging the hammer, and it was just like boom, 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 and I was thinking, holy shit.
It's actually kind of a shame because these guys failed to qualify for both Series 9 and 10. And honestly, especially when it comes to Series 10, I feel like this could have been a little bit more effective than Apocalypse, which was basically this similar kind of robot with a low robot with a massive axe.
I like Apocalypse as a little idea of an axe and little grabbing arms, but I would have loved to have seen Mega Melvin just strafing around, you know, clearly slamming down with that powerful axe. I think that would have been amazing to watch, but I guess not.
It was entertaining in King of Bots, though.
Oh yeah, so you know that was King of Bots game, really.
And also, what an absolute tease! This thing appeared in the trailer for Series 10, but didn't appear in the series.
Oh my god, I don't remember that, but I need to look back now.
It's like how Crackers and one of either Crackers or Smash appeared in the Series 8 trailer, even though it didn't appear.
Oh.
And it's just I don't get it because the thing failed. It wasn't selected. It wasn't like it was reserved that didn't get put in. It wasn't selected, so it didn't even get into the series at all. But they still put it in the trailer. Like,
Robot Wars, you tease,
bastards!
Oh my god! By the way things work, then when Robot Wars Series 11 comes around, we're getting Mega Melvin, people. Hey, come on! Bring back Robot Wars.
They're also of note because they're one of the few teams from America who tried to qualify for the English series.
They would have been perfect for the UK versus the world.
I'm surprised they didn't use them. Honestly, I mean, it'd be great. I mean, I think other ones were like one called Mouse and one called Rolling Thunder 2 from Series 3.
Mouse, I think I know Mouse. Let me just double check that one real quick.
Mouse, I don't think was anything too special. It was literally just...
No. Oh, yeah, if you ever want to see them, you can actually see them at the 2017 Robo Games as well. They didn't do great, but, you know, it's a nice-looking robot. It kind of reminds me of...
Rohog.
Yeah.
And Rolling Thunder 2 is literally a box with 4 wheels. There's nothing else to it, but out of the 3, it's definitely the most interesting Mega Melvin, and I don't know why it's called Mega Melvin, if someone can please, unless you know, because I have no idea why.
Teambots FC, could you please explain to us why it was called Mega Melvin?
Yeah, because there's no only team called Melvin. I mean, that'd be weird. That'd be very kind of, self-centered. If like, I'm calling this. I'm called Melvin. Therefore, the team's robot is gonna be called Mega Melvin. There, I've said it. But this is Jimjamatic, and this is my Jimjamatic robot. Don't fight me.
I'm Jimjamatic, and this is my robot, Big Dick James.
If I really wanted to show off, then yes.
And on that note, let's move to our final robot. You've seen Mega Melvin. Now you better be on the edge of your seats for the one, the only Office Party.
God. I mean, this thing, I was looking for the list of stuff that have failed to qualify, and I saw Rotractor, which is a robot I'll definitely talk about in the future. Which was this is the same team who made Barbarous, by the way.
I actually like Barbarous.
Oh
to
no,
be fair.
the original Barbarous wasn't too great, but they won some Series 6 and 7. This thing managed to at least survive Hypnodisc.
Yeah. To be fair, Barbarous after Series 5 is actually a pretty nice looking robot, even if it wasn't like the most effective robot ever. But then you see Office Party, and I think, wait, hold on, flippers?
Yeah, that's the thing, because I was looking for it. I saw a Retractor, and I thought, this thing just looks like a giant conveyor belt.
No, oh my god. I think that lid on the top, I think that might have been the flipper. Yeah,
it was.
No, oh my
yeah,
god.
this thing has actually appeared on TV.
Wait, what?
I think it has, because there was a thing. There was some show where they had some like robots and stuff, and this thing won or something. I'm trying.
Oh my god! It did appear on a Discovery Channel documentary called Robots Revenge, where it was next to Barbarous.
That's the one. That's the one it won. Yeah, it won the little kind of mini competition thing they had on it. Yeah, Office Party is literally just a printer with wheels on it, and there's a flipper. It's actually very similar in concept. I mean, it's a dumb idea.
Sorry, I'm just looking at it. It was like Barbarous was deemed too dangerous, but Office Party won the event.
Yeah, somehow.
I mean, I could diss it all I want, but you know, it's a successful robot.
And actually, the thing is, at first, it seems like the stupidest robot ever made, but then you do forget there are things like, you know, Granny's Revenge and stuff. But also, if you really think about it, it's not that much different from Megahertz in Series 2. It's just...
I mean, I like Megahertz, so I can't... So you comparing to it does give it some brownie points there. I do like Megahertz. It's a guilty pleasure.
Because literally the same thing. It's a piece of office equipment on wheels. And it even has the the lid coming off on and off of it, like the flipper, like Megahertz had the CD drive going in and out.
Yeah, you have me there. I can't lie. That's a very, very good point.
And that's why I think it's a dumb idea, but it's relatively normal compared to some robots. Again, Granny's Revenge, I think, personally, is the epitome of, is this a robot? Like,
I love Granny's Revenge.
I love Granny's Revenge as well, but it's probably the least robotic robot ever to be on the series. It's just a motorized wheelchair with a dummy in it. It's sort of similar to that one where it was a robot in like the old... I think it appeared in BattleBots as well. It was like Buddy Jr. Don't Walk on the Grass or something. It was called something like that. And it was
my god. Sorry, you were talking about Granny's Revenge. I was just looking at Barbarous. They actually fought each other, Barbarous and Granny's Revenge.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's an image of Barbarous nearly getting Granny's Revenge out of the arena.
Oh my god, that is hilarious.
I'll send you the picture so you can put it in the video.
I'm so doing that, yeah.
You can go on. You can go back onto your point now.
I didn't have much of a point, really. I was just saying that Granny's Revenge was rubbish, but in a good way. But
Granny's Revenge is the pinnacle of so bad it's good.
Oh, definitely, yes. But Office Party, again, you might think it's dumb, but really, I just don't think it's... You have to have it... There's a certain bar that's, made with Robot Wars, and I feel like Office Party is just below that bar, but it's still... Like, I would love to have seen how this thing was fought. Like, I kind of wish we'd seen this thing and Barbarous in Series 5, just to see what would happen.
That's true.
But it's just, again, it's dumb, but I guess it's more of an exhibition robot in a way. Like, oh, we've managed to make a printer move.
I can't imagine they would have expected it to win, and that's probably why they went on to make Barbarous straight after.
Yeah, a fighting photocopier. That's what they called it. That's what they called it. And the name Office Party is great, but also, I guess if he ends up losing, you could just take a picture of your arse millions of times over and over again. Because that's how everyone uses Office Party, photocopies, clearly. That's all people do with them, it seems like, in any kind of stereotypical.
Well, that was a very interesting series of robots.
A very weird set of events there, but we got some entertainment out of it.
I mean, we definitely did there, I can't lie. And you opened my eyes to the beauty of Office Party.
It is the greatest thing ever. So I was going to have Nick from the Robot Wars History podcast on this, but unfortunately he couldn't make it. So
you look forward to him next episode.
Yeah,
by the way, check out Antweight Anarchy on Patreon.
Is it good to do it every single time you're on this?
Yes.
Well, I can't lie, it's true. And I've started seeing some of the Series 2 robots. Jesus,
yes.
They look so good. I've been seeing some of the test fights today. Fucking hell, they look good.
I am looking forward to that.
Oh man, if people thought, Anthony can't make any, really amazing robots. He just makes, stuff with like cardboard shells in him. If you're saying that, then Egg and your face are in alignment.
For confirmation, in a video posted to Facebook of Gigabyte being tested, Paul Ventimiglia, the captain of Team Byte Force, commented on it. So just know this: Antweight Anarchy is Byte Force approved.
So Gigabyte tested, Byte Force approved.
Oh
god! And with that, I guess that is the end of the episode. Then, thanks for joining me, Sean. I know it's I know you're forced to talk to me for about 40 minutes, but what are you going to do?
Oh, God, the xenomorph.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to reevaluate our friendship. I'm just kidding. I love you.
I hope you do. You're not going to... You better.
Please feed me tonight. I've had no food from you all week.
Silence.
Oh.
Anyway, I'm Jimjamatic signing off.
And I'm TheDominusignis.
And thankfully there's no interrupting of who's going to be going first on the signing off this time, so that's actually helpful. There's no awkward pause of people going, I'm Jimjamatic signing off. Thanks. I don't even know why I make this show anymore. I've lost the will to live. See you, folks. There's no He, E, and F has cancelled the Robot Wars. I'm sorry, I'm not doing it. Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome.